So if you look at the India and the Philippines market, so the Indian market really was the pioneer in the offshore outsourcing world. It actually started with captive setups, with GE coming and setting up their own sort of a shared services center, which was supporting all of GE services, and then it spun off and became an independent third-party outsourcing unit. That led to really a lot more outsourcing services being provided out of India. Historically, India has been driven by that growth, by the growth of BPO, which led into IT outsourcing, which is now leading into knowledge process outsourcing, from animation to legal processing to a lot of such areas. But what has changed over the last 18 to 24 months is the focus on domestic outsourcing, is the focus on the domestic demand that is coming from the banks of India, that is coming from the telecom companies of India, who instead of running their own call center operations want somebody else to do it. So we are seeing the international growth being steady. It is not as high as it used to be, but the domestic growth is compensating for that, leading to India still being a very hot market for the call center industry. Then you look at the Philippines. Philippines is probably 90% of all the work that happens there is US centric. It is significantly offshore driven. There is very little domestic call center setups that have happened in the Philippines. There is some that is servicing the local industries, but as a percentage of total, it is very heavily skewed towards the offshore outsourcing part of the business. And within that offshore part of the business, it is very skewed towards the US. It's over 90% of work being done just for the US. Whereas in India, it is still a better mix of US as well as UK, and now looking at parts of Asia Pacific being done out of India as well. So India has a slightly better mix of the source of work for the outsourcing services as compared to the Philippines, which is very, very US centric today. Looking at China. Now China is growing phenomenally. I think 2008, because of the Olympics, we saw significant investments being made in the customer service infrastructure. Since then, we still see the domestic market being the only driver sustaining the China growth, and we expect that to continue. We are seeing outsourcing, but again, that is for domestic opportunities. We have seen very limited voice-based call center outsourcing that is happening for offshore work coming into China. We saw Dalian do that a bit, a few years ago, but we have seen that kind of just steady out. We're not seeing significant growth happening in Dalian for voice-based services. For non-voice based, development, software development work, that is still growing around Dalian, which supports Japanese and Korean as well as Mandarin development. But from a voice standpoint, we've not seen that degree of growth in the Dalian part of the outsourcing industry that is there in China. It is significantly driven by the domestic market, and that we think will sustain for a few years very easily, because again, China is on a growth curve which is far ahead of the other markets in this region, and their need for customer service, their need to reach out to their large population and subscriber base is still fairly immense. They are slightly behind the curve in terms of good technology adoption within the contact center industry in China. So their potential for growth from a technology adoption standpoint is again fairly high. We're beginning to see a shift where certain banks in China want to be world-class, and they're looking at technologies which are world-class. But for the most part, the large part of the contact center market in China still is on very basic call center applications and has not moved on to more sophisticated applications that exist around quality monitoring, workforce management, multimedia applications, things of that sort. In the ASEAN region, so obviously Philippines is the biggest within the ASEAN region from a call center industry standpoint. Malaysia is interesting because Malaysia for the last 3 years or so has been trying to promote itself as a hub for offshoring business, as a hub for attracting offshore work into Malaysia. And it has seen some success. It has not seen the degree of success it would have hoped for when they had started, but they have seen some success. Teletech, which is a leader in outsourcing services, has now set up in Malaysia. They are looking to expand significantly. They have good expansion plans for Malaysia, which we will think will trigger a lot more other companies to look at Malaysia more seriously. The problem with Malaysia is the access to labor pool, the ability to scale that fast. Philippines had that as a big advantage. Their ability to scale to 500 seats over the next 3 months can be done relatively easily. It is not very easy, but it can be done relatively easily. The access to labor pool with English speaking skills, with a customer service attitude is fairly high. In Malaysia, you have labor pool, but not everybody is ready for all sorts of languages, right? So you'll get a good mix of languages in Malaysia, which is their strength. out of Malaysia, you can do the whole world sitting out of there. You could get English, you can get Mandarin, you can get Japanese, you can get Middle Eastern languages, and you can do a pan-Asia customer service support out of Malaysia. And that is really where their strength will pan out to be. That is where they will become, a sort of a pan-Asia hub for outsourcing instead of a global hub for outsourcing. The other thing about Malaysia is that you might begin to see some overflow business from India and Philippines coming into Malaysia. So for example, Teletech, they have setups everywhere, but for overflow businesses, they might route that into Malaysia before Malaysia becomes a name that their clients are comfortable, sending their work to. So it really is about, getting that mind share in North America, getting that mind share in Europe to recognize Malaysia, on that radar. And I think they've done a phenomenal job of the last 3 years to be on that radar and finally get Teletech set up over there. So Singapore is really like a hub for just multinational companies here. A lot of the work from Singapore also tends to move into Malaysia because of nearshoring. It's lower cost. It's just 45-minute flight away. So even the likes of Singtel and StarHub have already done that. So we are not going to expect Singapore to become a big hub for call centers. You will continue to see around 10,000, 12,000 seats in the call center industry here, but we don't expect that to double itself over the next 3 years like what we might see in some of the other markets. So Singapore will continue to be a very steady market. There will be a steady outflow of call center work happening into Malaysia, happening into the Philippines from Singapore, but it will continue to be a very high-end, high-value, premium customers being handled out of Singapore only. So the governments do play a role in Asia Pacific in terms of growth of the call center industry. A lot to do with the BPO and the outsourcing part of the sector. So in Malaysia, for example, MSC or MDEC has been trying to promote Malaysia as a destination for outsourced call center work. They have come up with incentives around setting up new sites in terms of tax holidays, things of that sort that help people take a decision between Malaysia versus, let's say, Singapore, or Malaysia versus even in India, that maybe it's better for me to do it over here. So government historically has played a big role. Even in India, in Philippines, there has been significant government support that has made it easy for businesses to come and set up their call centers over there. That has made it easy for them to recruit within those countries. That has made it easy for them to justify that kind of investment in those markets. So government support from a BPO standpoint has been fairly strong. There is also some government help that is aided really in terms of the whole people aspect of things. The ability to hire, the ability to maintain a database of, like in India right now, what is happening. Attrition is a major challenge in this industry, right? So what has happened in India is that with NASSCOM and the support of the government, they are making a database of all the people who have worked in this industry. So when they start moving from one to the other, the employer knows that this person is prone to switching jobs, and then they can accordingly take a decision about that. So just helping in taking better decisions from a people standpoint. So there are some things that the government can help on those regards, but that is really a very unique kind of a situation where the industry is that big, and that will happen only in markets like India, China, Philippines, currently in Asia Pacific. So, yeah.